Mike, we got to talk some of these baseball trades the Phillies made. I was okay with Shane Victorino and Joe Blanton because both these guys they were going to let walk at the end of the year, so they got something instead of getting nothing.
Yeah.
But Hunter Pence, who had an extra year in his deal, and some people had said if they hadn't signed Cole Hamels, that actually Pence had more value in the on a trade than what Cole Hamels did because he was going to be a rental players. They traded 3 quality players. They had a 4-player deal, and Ed Wade, I think, fleeced them last year. First time you probably heard that, right? But he gave up some quality players last year to get Pence, and he was supposed to be the right-handed protection behind Howard. And you trade him away to give you money flexibility. Is this what we're learning?
Well,
they got not much in return here. Tommy Joseph looks like a pretty good catcher. Got to see him at Reading over the weekend, but
nobody likes to talk about the luxury tax because it's boring money stuff. But I mean, they wanted to knock some payroll away so they would not be in danger, which they were in some danger of paying the luxury tax this year. You don't want to pay the luxury tax and finish 4th in your division and lose 90 games or whatever. So that's understandable. Next year, it's also going to be the same figure as this year, about $178 million, and they already have over $100 million committed to 8 players. If they're serious about winning next year, which is what Ed Wade, oh, what a Freudian slip, what Ruben Amaro says, and what he should say, because the Phillies need to be playing in the big leagues financially and in terms of running their team. Then they're going to have to go over the luxury tax next year. They're going to have to go over that threshold, and they have, I think, 3 open spots in their starting 8, third base and 2 outfield spots. So if you're serious about winning next year, you got to fill those spots with championship caliber players. How did you help yourself in that regard by trading Hunter Pence? I don't understand. I don't understand the rationale for this deal unless they're not trying to win next year. The year after that, the luxury tax goes up to about $190 million, and they'll take some money off the books with contracts and things. So that's a different animal. But if you're thinking about winning next year, you're going to have to pay that luxury tax, and you're going to have to add 3, I think 3, at least 2 for sure, position players next year, and that's not going to be cheap. And I don't see how Hunter Pence deal helps that at all.
Yeah, I think it's funny that you're pining for the days that Ed Wade is in charge now.
Well, that was Freudian.
Ruben Amaro has proven he can write a check out, but I'm not sure how he can do a good trade yet. What I think is interesting was that he gave away so many good players because Pence was under contract for a few years, and he was going to be this protection for Howard. Who in the free agent market coming up is a right-handed bat that can bat 5th in that lineup to protect Howard? I haven't heard those names. I keep hearing Michael Bourne. Well, he's a leadoff hitter. I'm hearing Josh Hamilton, maybe him, but I don't know if you have enough money for both of them. And you still don't have third base addressed, and there's no good third basemen on the free agent market. So you got to make a trade. The guy from San Diego has a year left on his deal, I believe.
Yeah, he's a good young player. They're going to have to make a deal. They're going to have to trade to get him.
So
now,
maybe you're trading a Tommy Joseph that just got in this trade. I don't know.
I like Michael Bourne. He has become an excellent player, and I think having a leadoff man is more important than having this notion of protection. But that's just my opinion. But
I can see that.
They have again. It's looking at money, looking at this luxury tax threshold. They're going to have to pay that next year anyway. I don't see how Hunter Pence, the Hunter Pence deal made it more difficult, without question, for them to contend next year, even financially, even from a payroll standpoint, I think, and not just from a baseball standpoint. So I don't get it.
They keep falling into the small market mentality, and they're not. They're up there with the Yankees and the Red Sox in revenue.
It's nonsense.
Their sellout streak just ended, Mike, and guess what? Who they're competing with for that? The Yankees, the Red Sox, who have the longest one. Well, guess what? These are the teams that you're up there with in the big markets. Stop calling yourself a small market team. The fans aren't buying it anymore,
and they shouldn't.
So start playing like the big boys.